What's up? I gotta play the theme song. Let me play the theme song. I ain't set it up right, y'all. I gotta play the theme song though. Gotta play the theme song. Okay, here we go. Tell them about y'all. But hey, I gotta play the theme song. See, I wanna be blessed. I don't wanna be blessed. I wanna be blessed to be a blessing. You see, I wanna live my life in the overflow. I wanna have more than enough. Check this out. Well, it's time for me to start to elevate. Been down too long, time to graduate. Mount up my wings like an eagle, you see. Turn all my dreams to reality. Ain't nothing on this earth gonna hold me back from my heart desires. He promised that if I have faith, if I believe, faith the size of a mustard seed. I want to be blessed, to be a blessing. Prosperous life, no more stressing. That won't know me from the moon to the sun. He'll keep blessing me in that recession. I got to do something with this life he give. His plan for me, that's what I wanna live. As long as I got God on my side, the hater just gonna have to let me fly. Yes, I am. In the overflow. In the overflow. I'm blessed when I go. Don't you wanna live in the overflow? Living. Yes, I am. In the overflow. In the overflow. I'm blessed when I go. Don't you wanna live in the overflow? Living. Oh, yes, I am. In the overflow. In the overflow. I'm blessed when I go. Don't you wanna live in the overflow? Living. Yes, I am. In the overflow. In the overflow. I'm blessed when I go. Don't you wanna live in the overflow? See, we got to speak that thing into existence. Because it's gonna happen. You gotta believe it in your heart, and in your mind, and in your soul. So you gotta repeat this after me. See what you say, so you can say what you heard. I wanna be living. I gotta be living. And I'm gonna live. Come on, you repeat after me. Come on, say. I wanna be living. I gotta be living. And I'm gonna live. I wanna be living. I got to be living. And I'm gonna live. Come on, speak this thing into existence. Let's go. I wanna be living. I gotta be living. And I'm gonna live. Oh, now y'all got it. Your blessings is on the way. Hey, living. I want heaven in the overflow right here on earth. Blessed when I come, blessed when I go. Don't you wanna live in the overflow? In the overflow. Blessed when I come, blessed when I come. Don't you wanna live? Blessed when I go. Hey. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's going on out there, y'all, in YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch land? Welcome to Overflow, the Everyday People Show. This is the only show where you, your mama, your cousin, too, get to just come on and chop it up. Yeah. What's up, y'all? What's going on? Welcome to the show, man. This is probably going to be the last show of the year, probably. Probably. That's a big word, right? But anyway, y'all, what's up, man? Y'all checking in. Check in with your boy, man. How's your boy? What's going on? Y'all want to come on live and check in with your boy, man? Let me post this right here. follow this link. I know it's kind of hard to deal with, but follow this link, y'all. Come on, chop it up with your boy Live, man. Today we're gonna talk about a few things. Tis it's the season. Tis it's the season to be jolly. But unfortunately, a lot of people ain't feeling jolly, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the season where a lot of people fall into a depression. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that I ever been there. You know what I'm saying? I had some time where I felt like I was down, but I can't really tell you what depression is. You know what I'm saying? I can't really say what depression is. I can't diagnose it. I can't tell you if you are depressed or not. You know what I'm saying? But I do know people go through, a rough patch around this time of year. They're seeing everybody kind of like being kind of jolly and all the gift giving and and everybody just don't have it to give. You know what I'm saying? So they fall into a depression around this time of year, man. So we're gonna talk about depression. What is depression? How do you know if you're suffering from depression? And I need y'all help too, because I don't know, man. Because I had somebody reach out to me who say they're going through something, and I really in me not knowing what depression is myself, I don't think I could do is tell them, you're going through something, and you're gonna get through the other end. The typical, spiritual type, thing that we tell people, God this, God that. But when you're going through depression, do you really want to hear all that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all have y'all ever been through depression? I don't know what to tell people who are going through depression, because I don't know if I ever suffered. I've never been diagnosed with depression. I've never been diagnosed with depression, so I wouldn't know if anybody's going through depression or not. And also, God, the next topic we're gonna talk about, it's crazy. I got to talk about my son. I got to talk about my own son. He did a gospel song. He did a spiritual song, and Christians are going crazy again, man. I mean, he did the thing with the devil, and now he's singing a gospel song, and they're upset about it, man. And I don't understand what's up with Christians. They think they have the ownership of Christ. So my thing is, who get to praise God? Who is not allowed to praise God? Because from what I understand, he said he'll make a rock cry out. So how can he make a rock cry out? But Christian, well, I'm gonna call them so-called Christians. So-called Christians are saying certain people shouldn't be singing gospel songs or be in the pulpit, for that matter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to understand this myself, y'all. So y'all hang on. We gonna chop that up too. We're gonna chop that up. But we're gonna start with depression, man. I have somebody reach out to me who's going through some things, and I didn't really know what to tell them. Can y'all tell me what are you feeling when you're going through depression? I found a video explaining what depression is, but it's just a video. It's not people actually saying what they've been through. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna play this video. Then I want y'all to tell me what y'all think depression is after I play this video explaining what depression is
Depression.
clinically.
What is it? And what's the difference between feeling depressed and experiencing depression? For many people, feeling depressed can mean feeling sad, unhappy, or low. These are natural and normal feelings, even if they arrive without any warning or reason. Generally, these feelings will go away with time. Your mood will lift, and you'll start to feel better. However, if you are sad and unmotivated for 2 weeks or longer, stop enjoying the things that usually make you happy, withdraw from friends and family, or feel empty or numb, it might be a sign that you're experiencing depression. So, what exactly causes depression? There's no simple answer. Depression affects everyone differently. It's also caused by many different things. Often, it can be the result of many unique factors. Common ones include being in ongoing stressful situations, undergoing a big life change, having a family history of depression, experiencing grief or loss, going through ongoing physical illness or pain. You may even be at greater risk of depression due to your personality traits, especially if they include worrying a lot or being overly critical of yourself. Depression is more than just feeling depressed from time to time, but it's important to know that it is treatable and it's worth reaching out and talking to someone about.
So listen to that, y'all. Does that explain to y'all what depression is? Because I felt all those things. I've had I've had loss of life. I had loss in the family. You know what I'm saying? I've had big changes of moving, but are those type of depressions that we talking? Let me get somebody in here.
Hey,
Jenny. What's up? What's up, Jenny?
nothing
You
much.
just missed a video, man. I just showed her a video about depression. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
Or did you hear it?
Okay, because I always have issues with this laptop.
Did you got it straight out now?
I did.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So how do you know if you're suffering from depression, and how do you treat depression? Because the video I just played, the guy says treatable, and I mean it's just some kind of pill people are taking for depression.
Okay.
So where do you want to start it? First of all, what is depression? 'Cause
You're asking me?
yeah, because I don't. I'm trying to understand how do you help people who are depressed, who come to
Well,
you. If somebody come to me and say, "I'm feeling depressed," what do I supposed to say? Besides the typical, it's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
honestly, if somebody was to actually tell you that, it's not really much you can say right off the cuff. Like there's not much you can say right off the bat. Um, Usually, people who have dealt with depression can have something more on spot to say. Um, but to answer your question, like what is depression? Depression is just a state that a person usually finds themselves in after they've gone through something traumatic. It could be different things. It could be like I came in on you saying like loss, like if you have great losses, sometimes even though everybody deals with things differently, for some people it can be to the extent where it leads to depression. um, so depression in itself is just a state of being neurologically, as well as the mental and emotional mixed in with it, that just puts you in a low place. Just like when you have like things that go right in your life and everything's going your way, you know you're on a high, like you just your dopamine levels are like up to here, and you're feeling good about life. That's a high place to be. And sometimes when people go through low places, they it's titled depression, so it's a real thing.
So it's the opposite of that high.
Exactly. And it's just it's reality for people who are going through things. And it doesn't mean that they don't have, a sense of how to overcome it. In a sense, it's just more about, this is how I'm feeling right now, so this is where I'm at right now. Now the methods of how to get out of it, that's something else to talk about.
Cause I know around about that time of year, and I told you like in October when the weather started changing, it's all gloomy.
Yeah.
I feel some kind of way, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what it is. I don't think I'm depressed or nothing like that. I just think my mood changed. You know what I'm saying? It's just a mood swing with me.
And
You
that's I
know.
wouldn't call that depression. Because so and I'll say this, it could be a mild, extremely mild form of depression, because usually when you're going through states like that, you're not motivated. And I'm not saying you're not during that time, but like you can probably function through it and say, you know what, I don't like this time of year, but I'm gonna do what I need to do to kind of get through it, whether I do deal with it this way or that way. Usually when a person is depressed, like they lack no motivation at all. And I know this because I've experienced it before in the past. Like you don't want to get out the bed, you don't want to brush your teeth, you don't want to do nothing. Like,
Hold on, now you don't want to brush your teeth.
no, I'm serious. I'm saying
No,
that's
I'm not trying to make light of it, but
no, I'm saying that's deep depression. Deep depression is when your lack of motivation is so high that you don't want to do nothing. You don't want to just live, basically. And unfortunately, those type of levels of depression can lead to suicidal thoughts. And it's more about not that they're just wanting to just kill themselves, but they don't want to live because they don't like where they are in life. um and so you have levels of it. I'm sure they're very mild levels, and not liking a certain time of the year because of the weather, or because maybe you've lost loved ones around the time of the year. That may be just a very mild form that's you can function through it. It's like it's not it's a deal to you, but it's not a big deal where you just just like, oh, I can't function through it.
I think around the holidays it brings out a lot of memories that people have
Yeah.
of loved ones that they have lost. You know what I'm saying? So so the holiday season is it could be a trigger for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Right.
trigger for a lot of people because a lot of people get down around this time of year, especially when you see the gift giving and everybody's happy,
Yeah.
seemingly happy. You know what I'm saying? And you want to feel good, you want to feel happy too, but those people that you had in your life, they're not there to share their
Right.
moments with you anymore. So that could be a trigger for people,
Sure.
dealing with depression. But honestly, for me, I can't say that I've ever been depressed, and maybe I have, and it's just never been diagnosed with depression. You know what I'm saying?
And being diagnosed, like, it's I think when a person is diagnosed with it, I think that's when it's extreme. Like, when a person just in that place where people like, man, I got to check on so and so, they ain't answering the phone, I got to go over there, knock on their door, like that. That's where a person probably would need to go to the doctor. But how to treat it, I don't agree with some of the medications that is out there for people to resort to have to take, because those medications have side effects, negative side effects. Um, there are holistic ways and spiritual ways to navigate through depression. I just think that medication is, what is presented to us as an option. But it depends too sometimes on the level. Some people are going through it so bad that they may need the medicine to pull them up out of it initially. But then at some point, you want to try to get to a more holistic way, because those medications do have side effects. They really do. And they
Okay,
are not
y'all.
good side effects.
Okay, for y'all who watching, man, we talking about what is depression. How do you be suffering from depression? It's this time of year that a lot of people start going through. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want to come on live, feel free to do so. I'll post a link right here. Y'all can follow this, and it'll get y'all on. Cause I'm really trying to find out how can I help people who are going through depression. Because the only answers I have, most people always go the spiritual route. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Oh, God got you. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But if somebody in depression, if they're at a point in their life where they feel like they don't want to be living, and all the thing you can offer is God got you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's much help, and that's the only help that I have offered people. The spiritual
Yeah.
guidance of it. I what I'm saying, I don't recommend nobody getting treated medically for it, because I think you know these folks start pumping you with pills, and they're gonna lead to another thing, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I think spiritually that's a part of it to help. I think that it has to be understood that physically you are affected by depression. It messes with your brain. Like, neurologically, it messes with your brain. I'm not a doctor, but I do understand what I understand. And like I say, I've had depression in the past, but it was induced by a physical stress that I had gone through. And the thing about it is, those medications, when you take them, what the medications are designed to do is to restore your serotonin levels and to try to fix the physical aspect of the depression. But the emotions that's attached to the depression, the thoughts, those things, that's where counseling comes into place. That's where prayer comes into place. But that whole low serotonin levels, that stuff is physical. Like, it is something that the medicines are supposed to try to treat, but long term is really not good. It's like putting a band-aid on it, and you're really not getting the true healing that you need with the medicines, because it's just going to be like a band-aid, and then on top of that you're dealing with side effects where it almost puts you in the opposite, where you're like apathetic, like you're almost like a zombie, depending on
Yeah.
what kind of medication that they give you. They have so many different kinds now. um it's like, it's different results with the, I guess, the type of side effects. I've heard some people say it makes them feel sleepy. It
What
can
up,
create,
BT? What's up, Cue
other
Ball?
issues.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So but you can, and to answer the second question, how do you know if you're suffering?
Yeah,
um
how do you know if you're suffering from depression? Is this that feeling that you get when you get fired or something like that, and you can't find a job in 2 3 weeks? You know what I'm saying? Is it losing a girlfriend or boyfriend? Is it that letdown right there? Is it that, or is it just like, or is it just us in your feelings? Is this a difference between being in your feelings and being depressed? You know what I'm saying?
so i
I want
i
to get
would I would look at it in this
Lisa.
vein.
Lisa.
Hi,
Hello, hello.
how are you?
Yeah, so
I'm
it's being depressed just when you're in your feelings about losing a loved one or a job, or your car done got wrecked, and you know what I'm saying, you can't get around, want nobody to help you. It's just depression, or you just in your feelings. Is that what depression feels like? Because I've had those feelings now.
But see, life itself brings about ups and downs. So initially, when something negative happens, you're gonna have feelings. However you respond to it is one thing, but you still will have the feelings. Like, who wants to get in a car accident? Who wants to lose a loved one? Who wants to lose a job that they really loved and they depend on for their for their to take care of themselves and their family? So those moments, naturally, you're going to have feelings. But depression is when you just live in this state and it goes on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then it can grow, like I said, into higher levels where a person just lack motivation. They start losing interest in life pretty much, and it's like you just pretty much throwing a towel in, saying you just don't want to be a part of life. And again, it can lead to depression, levels of suicide. Like, it's almost like depression is a state that when you and your feelings going too far. You're just going too far. But who are we to say what makes one person deal with something, the same thing as somebody else, and they go too far in our minds with it than somebody else? You know, one person losing a job could be like, oh, hey, I'll find another one. And they may enjoy their life for 3 months being off work. Another person be like, this don't feel good because this is a part of life. I take care of other people, or, they have a fear they're gonna lose everything that they worked hard for. So it's different factors. It could be your body, your physical body. Everybody's
Pam says feeling on steroids.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. It really is, because it's a real state of being. And and whether people may realize this or not, your physical body is a part of that. So when you are stressed, you can develop depression from stress, because you feel like everything is out of control. This is I'm putting out fires over here and over there. And when you feel like you don't have control, you just go down within, and you're just in a place where you just feel like you're helpless. There's nothing you can do, and that can create depression as well. Um and when you're feeling bad for a very long time in your mental state, your emotional, it can lead to physical sickness as well. So depression has levels, and if a person isn't careful, if they're depressed too long, it can create other issues that become physical, that's beyond your mental and emotional. So it's a serious thing. And anytime a person is going through it, they do need to get help, whether it's talking to somebody, whether people believe in counseling or not. People go through depression after divorces. I mean, you have to look at your life and say, what is this that I'm feeling bad about? And if you can't, if you don't have the wherewithal or the insight to pull yourself up out of it, because sometimes people can. I've been through things where I pulled myself, of course, with God's grace on me, I was able to pull myself up out of it. But there's some situations where you got to talk to somebody. You may need somebody's help, whether it's a financial support, whether it's prayer. You have to have the support so that you don't stay in it, because depression can lead to so many other negative things that can be irreversible.
Oh, okay. So how do you approach somebody who you think may be going through a depression, but they don't want to intrude on you. They don't want to put their problems off on you. You know what I'm saying?
Um,
Should you say, hey, look, should you just go to them, or should you just wait on them to come to you? And oftentimes it can be too late if you wait, right?
right. I would say pay enough. Sometimes when a person is depressed, they don't want to be bothered. Okay. But you don't want to be up in their face pressing them, because sometimes it'll push them back. But what you want to do is pay enough attention to let them know you care. And then that way, whatever shell that they're in with that, that'll at least give them some hope and feeling that I'm not by myself. Even if they don't think you understand what depression is, at least they have a sense that you care. So you can't be too much up in a person's face, but you can show enough attention to say, I see you, I'm here. I noticed something's happening with you. If you ever feel like talking, you can come to me, no judgment. It stays with me, it's confidential. But I see you. And that's pretty much a way to kind of let them know you're there, but you're not intrusive and imposing on where they are, because sometimes when a person is depressed, they really don't want to be bothered. They really don't, because they'll
Mm.
usually depressed people will push people away.
Yeah, and shut themselves off
Right.
from everybody else. That's why this time of year, I think people should. I think people should just reach out to people they ain't heard from in a while.
Yep.
That's why I think it's important to check on people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot
Absolutely.
of times we don't, because we act like we so busy these days, and we
Right.
don't be doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But look, but at least around this time of year, reach out to somebody who don't have a lot of family in town, and let them kick it
Yeah.
with your family. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I know
Absolutely.
that's the type of family I'm in. We I'm not gonna say we take in a lot. We allow people to come chill, kick it with us, man. Who what I'm saying, who don't normally have that atmosphere, that family atmosphere. And around this time of year, you social media don't help, because you on social media, you're seeing everybody with the pajama, with the matching pajamas on. You know what I'm saying? The mama, the
Yeah.
daddy, the children, and everybody got on the same pajamas, and you don't have that. You don't have that
Right.
in your life. You know what I'm saying? And people look like they're having so much fun, and you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
they just like they're having so much fun, and you don't have no family, and the people you had in your life, they're now dead and gone, and you're seeing all the commercials, holiday cheer, and all the, you know what I'm saying, and all that can weigh down on you. That's why a lot of I think this time of season is the season of depression to me. I think I know I hate that. I don't mean it that way, because this is supposed to be the season of joy. This is supposed to be the Christ was born. You know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be the happy jolly season.
Right.
But for a lot of people, this is the season of depression. You know what I'm saying? That song, "What the Lonely Do at Christmas," man. That song was written. You know what I'm saying? With some truth behind it. Lisa, are you there? I see a thank you popping in. Can you hear me, Lisa? She's having technical difficulties over there.
Tell her I understand that. Maybe taking me a minute to get on. But the thing is that, so this is where I feel like talking to people, if you feel that you can, and just getting support by having listening ears, and then somebody giving advice who've been there. because if depression is coming to a lot of people around this time of year, you got to sit back and say, what do I have? And that's where gratitude comes in. You guys just say, what do I have? I may not have what is, people are presenting in social media, like they got this perfect picture happiness, but
Yeah,
just be thankful for what you have, because there's always something that you can look at in your life that you have that somebody else doesn't have, that you can be thankful for. There are people that are suffering way more, but it doesn't take away and diminish, the pain. I think what happens is people see other people with what they feel like they don't have, and it's not that they're jealous or anything like that. It just reminds them of what they don't have, and so
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
feel bad. You
Yeah,
know what
that's
I'm saying?
what I was trying to say. I
Yeah,
mean,
they just feel
yeah,
bad.
they feel bad about it. Both said men don't usually have an outlet either. Men are supposed to be strong enough to handle whatever. Other men just say, "Man up." You know what I'm saying? Women can look at the women can look at your depression as a weakness.
Right.
Mm.
Mm. And
So,
and
so
and
the
the,
so the so the no judgment zone is very important.
it is. It
Is that
is
is that
because,
true? Is that true? What he said? No, I'm not a woman, so you are a woman, so maybe you can answer that.
well, okay, so certain women may, but as a woman, first of all, me being who I am, I would not look at a man um as a weakness for being depressed. Number two, I've suffered from depression in the past, so I know what it feels like and I know where it comes from. It doesn't mean you're a weak person. It just means that something really deep and traumatic has happened, and you're sitting back trying to say, what am I, how am I supposed to deal with this? Nobody wants negative things to happen in their life. So there's nothing wrong with sitting down saying, wow, what happened to me? What am I supposed to do? And so the process for some people is longer. The bad part about depression is it can get a hold of you, and that's where the concern comes in. So like, again, one person can for a week be like, somebody, they could lose somebody they love, and they can be in the bed for about a week crying. I've been there. You be in the bed for about a week crying, can't eat, and then people be like, girl, you better get up out that bed and eat, because you can't do nothing about them not being here. And so you realize, wow, I'm losing weight, I'm up here tripping, let me get up off this bed. Yes, I can cry, but I do need to get up, because if I stay like this another week, that week can turn into a third week and a fourth week, and then now what? So I don't think I don't look at it, as far as me personally, as a woman, as a man going, if he went through depression, as a weakness. I mean, I've known people in my life in the past that went through depression that were men, and I didn't look at them like they were weak. I was just like, damn, they're going through something. So it can happen to the best of us. It can happen to any of us. Children go through depression. I work in a school. I promise you, little kids be depressed. Like 5 and 6 year olds go through depression. They go through things because we think because they're little that they don't experience those type feelings. They do. They do.
Mm.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I,
Oh
I've
wow.
I've heard a 5 year old say they wanted to kill themselves and that they didn't want to live, and was going through all of that because their parents were divorcing, and they just took it that way. Maybe some children don't go through that extreme feeling behind something like that. But this one little girl, she was screaming in class. I mean, she hated her life and said she wanted to kill herself, and she was 5.
Mm. So how do you deal with children then? If children going through depression, you know what I'm saying? You said
Probably
baby's gonna be all right. You know.
probably in the same fashion that an adult would need help. You just you find out what's wrong with, find out what's wrong. See if they're reachable. Like, because again, the hard part about a person that's depressed, if they shut down and don't want to talk to anybody, that can be scary, because you don't know what their moves are. Like, you like, well, do I need to call them every day? Do I need to go knock on their door? Do I need to stand by the door, their bedroom door, and watch them? Because some people go through it that bad. But I think with children, it's just, you always just got to stay present and check, and just check in a way that, again, does not force. You can't force somebody to reveal how they feel, but you just kind of be present, as to say, I'm standing here, I'm here whenever you're ready. Just whenever you're ready.
Yeah, and Darren makes a good point because I think I'm that person he talking about. He say people around you don't understand what you're going through and how you really feel, because they don't see you. They don't see you as you are in that moment. They see you as you are, what you used to be. And
Because they
and
know
and,
you.
and, and, and I think I made that mistake with some advice that I gave somebody. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not them. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You don't feel, especially for me, if I don't even know if I've been through depression. Now, how can I help somebody else who's going through depression besides the regular stuff like God got you and stay
Yeah.
prayed up. You know what I'm saying? And they've been praying all night. You know what I'm saying? But they
Right.
still feel that way.
Right.
So so I understand what he's saying at that point.
Yeah.
So that's why I really wanted to do this show. I want to get some feedback from other people about, you know what I'm saying, about depression, so I can better help people who reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? People, for some reason, people reach out to me when if they going through something, they want to talk to me, and I guess it's because I sing, gospel music, or you know what I'm saying, and they
Because
think,
they see something in you that they feel can be helpful, because um, it says a lot, it says a lot, and as a compliment to you as a person, because nobody wants to approach anybody that they don't feel that warmth, like, oh, I can talk to them, or are they going to judge me? Because sometimes with myself, with people that I know, like, friends and family, they have a sense that they can confide in me, and so they'll talk to me. So that sense of confidentiality is what draws people and be like, oh, I know Jennifer ain't gonna say nothing. I'll talk to her because I think she'll understand, whatever piece or whatever that I may give off to them that makes them feel that way. And so if you're one of those type people, I mean, that's a plus right there, because you can make a difference and may stop somebody from going to a higher level of it. I mean, it's a difficult thing, because I know personally um two people who committed suicide because their depression was so to that point, and no matter what I said
yeah,
to them, I could not change their mind. And so that's why you don't ever know um the level that a person is on. All you can do is be the best that you can be to them and pray for them. That's the most you can do, really, is to pray, because at that point, you're putting it in God's hands, but he can still use you to be there for them, you know. Because the person, that one lady that I know who committed suicide, I just remember thinking, wow, she must didn't have a lot of people maybe around her to convince her that, life was still worth living, because she lost her son. And then when I worked with her, she used to always say stuff like, um, if I ever lost my husband, I would just kill myself out, and I'm like, no, like, don't talk like that. Like, nobody wants to ever lose anybody they love. I said, don't talk like that. And lo and behold, some years later, after I started working with her, I found out she had passed, and somebody said that her son had passed away and she couldn't get over it. She went to a hotel, checked herself to a hotel, took a bunch of pills, and they found her with his picture clutched to her body, because she was that distraught over his death. And
wow,
and I remember when I knew her, I used to always say, don't be saying stuff like that. But she talked about it, which maybe people around her didn't recognize that she spoke that way. Maybe she only talked like that at work. I don't know. But when you have people around you and they start saying stuff like that, you shouldn't ignore it. That I do know,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it could happen.
Because I know a few people who have committed suicide. One guy, we a friend of mine, he used to always, say that he would do something, but when you don't know,
Yeah.
and a lot of people was kind of like joking, like you know what I'm saying, we in the hood, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
we men, we in the hood, so we don't know how to be comforting to a man. It's
Mhm.
hard for a man to be comforting to another man. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
Bo said,
Yeah.
that's
I can
why
see that.
men don't have that outlet, because another man don't want
Right.
another man generally won't be comforting to another man,
Got it.
and a woman would look at a man like he's weak. So so that's what Bo was kind of saying. Like, men don't have that outlet, because going
Right.
to another man, you're not gonna get what you need from another man, that comfort that you need from
Right.
another man, and you don't want to go to a woman, because you don't want a woman to look at you as weak. So men really don't have that outlet for depression. Let me get Stanford in.
And you know
Stanford, my
what?
brother, what's up?
Hey, Stanford, how are
How
you?
you doing?
Yeah. And that make a lot of sense. Like, and I'm glad that was brought up because I never thought about it like that. But in it being said, it does make sense because um as far as like men being able to go to other men. But as far as like the woman part, it depends on the woman. It depends on what type of person she is. If she has an understanding heart and if she has, God in her heart, she's not gonna look at a man like that. She's gonna see what can I do to help. So it just depends on the woman with that one.
See, that's right. See, women, y'all have you responding to a woman to a man.
I'm
And
saying,
I don't think it's the woman that we're concerned about. It's our ego. It's some within a man that he can't go to a woman in a vulnerable moment.
yeah,
So it has. I don't think it has nothing to do with a woman. I think it has everything to do with a man not being able to go to a woman when he's in a vulnerable moment. You know what
okay,
I'm saying?
and that ties into you saying that, or the what was said that a man could think that the woman is looking at him as being weak, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Inside of a man, he don't want to look weak to a
I
woman.
gotcha.
So
I got
naturally, he don't want to look weak to a woman. You know
gotcha.
what I'm saying? And you go to another man usually not going to be a comforter to another man.
Of course.
So like both said, men generally don't have a whole lot of outlets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But professionally, you go see somebody, a doctor, or you know what I'm saying, like a psychiatrist or something like that.
Right. Right.
You know.
Right. And I just think it is a little more difficult for y'all because of that. And in that sense, that's where spirituality plays a vital part, as well as counseling, because and counsel does not always mean you go spend a whole bunch of money somewhere. Sometimes you can have elders in your life that you can talk to. You don't have that. If it's just one good friend, somebody that got your back like that, you can go to them. There's always some help somewhere. It may not be vast, but there's always some help somewhere. But I do get it that it has to be more difficult for y'all.
What's up, my brother Stafford? We talking about depression, man. What is depression? How do you know if you're suffering from depression, and how do you treat it? During this time of year, man, a lot of people, they going through for whatever reason. Is their reason? Let's say this is a season of greetings and joy, but a lot of people they're not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? They feeling a lot of pain, a lot of loss. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I'll be feeling that pain in my pockets, man. Doing the holiday.
that too. You know what I'm saying? But
when the
not
holiday seasons come, man.
yeah, not being able to provide. That could bring it on too. Not being able to provide, get your kids with the things that you think that they deserve.
Yeah,
And
well, it's more like I don't want. It's not just it ain't the kids, it's everybody. So you get depressed because you're like, damn, man, I'm spending all this money.
and that's why a lot of people that's why a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, start saying they don't celebrate the pagan holiday to get away from gift giving and all that.
Some people do that. Yeah.
Here we go.
That ain't real. Jesus was born right now. Go get them gifts, boy. Go get them children some.
There's many different signs that I missed a lot and everything, and it's probably gonna sound repetitive, but having depression, man, you start feeling disconnected with things.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And sometimes, you probably won't even realize you're going through some type of depression. Sometimes,
Right. Exactly.
and everything. And to chime in a little bit on the piggyback on what y'all said earlier about, men don't have no outlet. That's a big factor with us.
Yeah.
We look at ourselves. Men we look at ourselves as Superman.
We got this. I got this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do this.
yeah.
I'm gonna do this alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm guilty of that too myself. So but I get out of that. How I handle that kind of stuff is certain activities and things that I do to help me, to cope with certain things. Like I go to the gym and or play some type of sport. You know, even my children help me out with that.
That's good.
So
So do you think the worst thing to do is to be alone
when you're depressed,
when you're depressed?
it depends on how long you alone for. I mean, whenever I go through, we gotta be careful now because depression and anxiety sometimes go hand in hand.
Yes, it
So,
does.
so
Yes, it
you have to,
does.
so you have to be careful with that because I've had anxiety a couple of times going through work and through things with life.
Yep.
You riled up and everything. So being alone sometimes will help me because I'm able to
Yeah.
like think things through and meditate
Yep.
a little bit on myself and figure
Yep.
things out. I'll go sit in like a sauna or something, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Where it's hot and all, and I'm just letting all
Sweating.
my issues just fade away.
Yeah.
I'm
But
glad you said something about the anxiety and depression being
mhm,
together because I was sharing this story before. How when I was much younger, I had physical induced depression.
mhm,
So when I went to the doctor, I remember writing on the piece of paper how I felt because I didn't even want to talk to my doctor. So I got there, gave him the paper. He looked at it, read it, walked away, came back, and he said, "You're depressed." And then he wrote me a prescription and it had on there anxiety/depression. I was like, first of all, ain't nothing happening in my life right now. I'm sick. I got the flu. I don't feel good. And I'm like, this just weighing me down. And I got all the stress going on. I took an antibiotic that messed me up. And then I had a reaction to it. So I got to take another one. So my body was just depleted.
mhm.
So I'm looking at the paper and I'm like, there's nothing happening in my life that would cause me to feel depressed or anything like that. And then the anxiety part threw me off. But you're right. Those two go hand in hand for some weird reason. They're cousins. It's like depression is here and then anxiety is on the other side of it. And
Yeah,
that was the first time that I understood the neurological part about depression too. Your serotonin levels are low. They had prescribed me something, and they said it was to fix my serotonin levels. And I took it for a little bit, but I had to come off of it. I prayed about it, came off of it, and never went back on it again. That was like years ago. So, um, that piece about the anxiety and depression, that is true. So sometimes when people are depressed, they will go through anxiety. On the flip side of that, it's like a double-edged sword. Like you're trying to deal with, how you feeling down and don't want to be around, but then when you do, you're feeling like, like you're about to pop out your skin. It's crazy.
yeah. You got to have a lot of It's like dealing with different type of difficulties through life.
Mm-hmm.
You got a certain amount. You got a certain amount of grit and resilience.
Yep.
And if you have that,
Exactly.
you'll be all right. You got to have a support system. Yeah, it's true. Men, it seemed like I seen in the chat that Daryl said that we as men, we will see ourselves as weak if we go
Yeah.
to see someone for help. Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing we got. That's a very big thing. Uh, what I've done though, when I felt a certain way about someone, the help that I seek, the counsel I always sought after were like older men in my, because there's certain things that women just not going to have an answer for us, you know, or we just too and maybe a little bit embarrassed to look to ask them or something. I don't know what it is, but if I asked like my grandfather or my one of my great uncles or something like that, because I'm sure they've seen these things before themselves. And even if they haven't, they always gave me some type of advice that got me back on track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was it,
Yeah.
was- it it'll be
Mhm.
simple too, you
Yeah.
know. And then and I just had to figure it out. And then according to what they told me, took account what they told me and looked deep into myself, and I was able to handle a lot of different things. But you gotta have it. You gotta have it in you. Some people don't have it in them, man.
Right. Yeah. That
You know.
that piece to having
Mhm.
resiliency in you is important. But then too, there's another aspect of depression that I've come to understand is that sometimes depression, and the first time I heard this, I just was like, what does that mean? But it's it's like it's almost like you're angry, but it's turned inside. You know what I'm saying? It's like anger turned inward. And
Right.
not because you're an angry person, but you may be going through something and you're angry about the situation. Like you may be angry with yourself, like I should have did something to prevent something that tragically happened. And so then that anger goes in because you start feeling guilty. it's so many aspects to depression that people don't realize that can happen, that other things come into play, like guilt. You could take a person who may have caused somebody else's death. They'll go into depression because they're angry with themselves, because they're feeling this guilt that I did something to cause that. And maybe I could have done something to prevent it. And so they punish themselves. And a part of that punishment is just, just going within and just not taking care of themselves. I mean, depression has some different things that come with it, that come from other sources, like that we don't even recognize. And anger is one of them. And that's when it's like it's anger turned inward. And the first time I heard that, I didn't get it, but it makes sense now. After I've seen people go through things in my life over time, where I've seen somebody made a mistake and caused something bad to happen to somebody else, and then they're like, I should have been there, or maybe had I said this, maybe this wouldn't have happened, and then they get depressed because they're angry with themselves. They feel like there's something more they could have done, or they blame themselves for what happened.
So trauma.
Yeah, trauma sure.
causes depression. You're saying, and
Yeah,
sometimes trauma does it. One thing is something that I don't have any. I didn't know anything about. My mother, not my mother, but my ex-wife. She had one time. She had a postpartum depression, giving
after
birth,
she
after
had a
giving birth.
baby.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I was like, "What the hell wrong with you?" I was like, I didn't understand what was. I mean, I didn't know. I really didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and that's why
I
we're doing this show,
said,
man. So we can know, man.
Yeah, I said, you need to get and get some help with something. There ain't nothing,
Yeah, postpartum depression is yeah, that's deep. That's definitely something that a man would not understand.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I didn't
And,
pretend like I did. I said that's out my realm.
Darren makes it. I guess Darren makes a good point. Say you feel like that because you used to know how to fix that situation, and now you can't figure out how to fix it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And a lot of
that can get you
people,
too.
a lot of people who used to be the person who the go-to person, they, what I'm saying, I think they suffer a lot too because they don't have, because they are the go-to person.
Yes, absolutely.
And a lot of time we think the go-to person don't, what I'm saying, don't go through what everybody else go through. What I'm saying?
We know how to. We go through it privately.
Yep, it's for sure.
It's behind the scenes, like
Yep.
we don't. For instance, you have to be strong for sometimes, especially in my life. Sometimes I have to be strong for a lot of different people. If they see me weak, they're gonna automatically become weak. So I can't afford to be that way. Not in their presence. You understand what I'm saying?
So who do you confide in? You know what I'm saying? Who do you confide in when you are at that place? You know what I'm saying?
I talk to maybe one or two people, and a lot. I pray.
Yeah, you said the two things I was thinking: good, trusted friends, and God.
And then I work out when I go to gym. The gym, to me, some type of physical activity like that is a big thing for me. It works for me.
And you know why? Because that releases those stress levels that you may be feeling. It releases it makes your serotonin levels come up. Yeah. And that again goes to why they give people medicine, because it's an artificial way of trying to fix something that you can just fix holistically or naturally. And working out is a great way to deal with your serotonin levels. And I think that when you are the person like the go-to person everybody come to for help, when you're going through things, it's and sad to say, but sometimes they look at you like, what, you depressed? Like you going almost like you're not a real person, but it's like, yeah. And because you know that actually can make you feel worse, because you're like, damn, where do I go? So yeah.
It actually goes the opposite for me. When they do that to me, it makes me say I gotta snap out of it.
Yeah.
Because people depend on me. So I snap out of it, and then boom, I'm back to normal.
Well,
You know?
I've been through things before where
But
I'm
see,
like, I know I can't call anybody, so
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
I got
buckle down and just put string up my bootstraps and just do it. And because it's hard when you're trying to work through something and you know that you can't call on anybody else, and so that gives you it motivates you to go ahead and just do it, do whatever you got to do. And a lot of times prayer and going to God, he give you the strength, like he does, strength
you.
that you didn't even know you had.
You know what I noticed too about some people that's depressed too. What they do is if they're either they're in two different extremes. They're either disassociate themselves with everybody, or they tend to like be around like a sponge around other people just like them, and it makes it
Mm,
worse.
mm,
I've seen that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
wow.
know, and I'm like, yo,
Okay.
man, how I mean, look what you're doing. You're hurting yourself, man. If somebody has a crackhead, you're gonna take them to the crack house. You know,
Right.
but someone because in their mind they feel like that's making them feel better. That's
Mm,
the type of therapy for them.
So depressed people shouldn't be around depressed people. That's
No,
what you're saying.
yeah, I don't think
And,
so.
and that's why I said earlier, people, if you got a large family, you got friends, and you got a large family, y'all have gatherings around this time of year, y'all reach out to them and invite them. You know what I'm saying? Come on over. We come kick it with my family. You know what I'm saying, for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
a lot of time we don't reach out to people enough. And
yeah.
and I'm
Especially,
and I'm guilty
especially,
of that myself. You know what I'm saying?
especially men. Men, we are not going. It's going to be very difficult for us to reach out like that. Jay,
Yeah.
That's difficult for us. That's something we ain't just going to do. If I
yeah.
reach out to you, it's gonna be it's gonna be. I must be in my last. I have absolutely no clue, no path, nothing. That's the way I do it. But because
But
it's
we
some,
but
I
we
don't
but
know.
we gotta break out of that though, man. We
Well,
gotta
there's a whole
stop
bunch
that.
of different. There's a whole bunch of different reasons why we
And
do it.
a lot of time, all you gotta do is say how you doing. You doing all right. It ain't about you trying to pry into nobody's life or nothing like that. It's just
Yeah.
simple as somebody checking on you.
Yeah.
You could do a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you can pick up on it with someone, right? You can tell that they're going through something, and then you can say one or two words to them, and then you didn't help them, don't even realize it. You didn't even know you helped them, but you know what you said helped them. They don't realize that they hear what you're saying, and they be like, you know what, that makes sense. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then they go home and think about it, and they come out of something.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can actually pick up on somebody who's like that real quick.
Yeah.
Not every time, but sometimes you really can. I've done it. I picked up on some things on some people. I'm like, yeah, he fucked up. So, that was the end of that. So you say
And
something.
sometimes you have to be careful because sometimes some people when they're depressed, they're very angry. So you could walk up to them and they'd be looking at you like, don't bother me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to read all of it because there are
Yeah, I
some
guess.
people that, yeah, because I've
Mm-hmm.
seen some people that are depressed, but they're angry and you can feel it. And then there's some people like I said, I work around children. So I may see whatever the age, whether it's from a kindergarten up to a middle schooler, I'll see them and I'll just be like, you know what, whatever it is, it's gonna be okay. And if I can feel they'll allow me to hug them, I'll give them a hug and keep it moving. I don't try to go up to them and be like, what's the matter? You want to talk about it? I just say whatever it is, it's gonna be okay. And I just keep it moving because if they want to talk about it, they will. They'll come around.
Dwayne Gorilla said, my first line of defense has always to seek the Lord for prayer and guidance.
Yep.
From there, the right person, whether it's a friend or stranger, has always showed up with no judgment.
Yep. Yep. I can agree with that too. As a way to go, you can't lose with God first. And I mean, even if you
But,
don't have it in you to pray during that time,
but
you
let me
know,
say, but let me say this. I don't mean to cut you off.
no, you're fine.
A lot of people aren't there yet. A lot of people
Right,
aren't there
right,
spiritually
right,
yet to even reach out to God to even know how. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
right.
people aren't spiritually there either.
And
You
and
know what
And
I'm
that's what I
saying?
was getting
and
ready
not
to
to
say.
sound
Yeah.
and not to sound harsh, or I don't say harsh, but some people, their depression in their mind, they feel is caused by God.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, or they're turned away
that's
from
kind of
God.
Yeah,
They
that's how they
will
feel.
blame they will blame him because
Yeah, they
they
will
feel
blame
like
him.
I've done everything right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Why am
yeah.
I here? You know what I'm saying? Why am I in this place? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why you read the Book of Job. It'll help you out a lot with that
Yeah. You better believe that.
one.
He had everything in the world you could possibly think of to happen to you, short of dying. I was like,
He was still there, boy. Wasn't it? That's tough.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's
That's
tough.
like I used to be afraid to read that book, but I get it. Because I was like, I would never want to be in his shoes. But yeah.
No.
But he won on the other side. He got through it though.
And for people that's not there, there's certain tools that you have to use. You can use some people get stressed out and depressed from work because they can't get everything done. I mean, you got to have the mindset that you're not going to get everything done, in one day and stuff. So there's things that you can do to help yourself out. Make a list, put check marks against these boxes, saying, "Okay, I did that, and did that. I'll get to this later." You got to have those type of things. So, them type of tools around you to help you, but some people can't. Some people don't have that type of knowledge.
Yeah,
It's
and I
out there.
think and I think that what a person who's depressed experiencing that they need to hear from other people that they're not alone, because when you are depressed, you will feel like you're the only person in the world feeling like that. It will seem like everybody else around you is good and happy except for you. It's like a so isolated emotional feeling. And that person that is depressed needs to know that they are not by themselves. Because when you know other people are going through too, it's not that you're happy that they are. You don't want people to feel like you do, but it's comforting to know that you're not by yourself, that somebody else does understand what it's like, so
The thing is with us though, with men though, this is us company. I mean, stop being a bitch.
So what now? What'd you say?
Stop being a little bitch. And get up and do the fuck you got to. That's us. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Sometimes that works though.
sorry, y'all, I gotta
and a lot of people did one of my homeboys like that, and he ended up killing himself.
Yeah, some people, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They thought he was just you just being you being soft. You know what I'm saying? But he was talking to a lot of guys who didn't understand what he was going through. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't know how to deal with a guy who's going through depression and he's crying out for help, but you hear him, but you don't hear him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I seen a guy go through that when I was in the military, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't a good thing.
And then when it happened, everybody want to talk about what they should have did, and I should have listened to Buddy, and but it's too late. You know what I'm saying? It's too late. You only when people cry out, you have to kind of pick up on what they're saying really behind this. You know what I'm saying?
That's true too. But in all fairness, though, sometimes we're not experts. We don't know. Sometimes you don't know. And that does happen too, in all fairness. But you're right though. I mean, if some things are just blatant, if a dude acting like he's suicidal or something, or talking about killing himself or death, or something like that, or he going through a lot of different things, yeah, that's different. But if he's just casually talking about it, sometimes you don't pick up on it. Because that's happened to me myself too. I've seen one or two people in my life throughout my years of living that was actually like that, but they didn't really. And I would ask them, "Well, how come you didn't say that to me about this?" You know what I'm saying? And then they was like, "Well, I just didn't want to, I didn't want to sound stupid or sound like I'm weak or something." They would say that to me.
Yeah.
They didn't come out and say it. I'm telling you, that's what happens with us. We don't just come out and say a lot of things. We don't. And then you got to worry about some men be worried about what a woman's gonna think about them, what a female is gonna think about them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So the last point is, did we touch on how did you treat depression? Did we touch on that?
I think there's just various ways. I of course there's always going to a medical doctor, but that's again if you want to go that route, knowing that you're going to deal with side effects. The medicines do have side effects, so those usually aren't good side effects, but it can be treated holistically. And like I say, you have spiritual routes that you can go through, and also trusted, family, friends, people that, you can go to that'll be there for you. I mean, it's different ways that if you mix them all together to just kind of like a tonic, you have support with this and that. And then there's even foods you can eat. Like there are foods that are good to elevate your mood levels, for your brain function. It's all kind of ways. So it doesn't have to be I need to go to a doctor and get this medication that's going to make me feel like if I come off of it, I want to kill myself. Because that's actually a negative side effect of some of these medicines, and they'll make you feel like very apathetic, like you could care less, like you don't care about nothing. And I understand that all medicines aren't the same, but a lot of them have at least one negative thing in it that you have to deal with.
I like what Darryl said. I tell people all the time that I know a lot of people and I be around a lot of people, but I'm a loner. That's me, Darryl. I think I'm a loner too, man. You know what I'm saying? But I like being around people. I'm a loner, but I like being around people at time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be in the house like 2 days and I say, I gotta go be around some people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't hurt myself too long. I don't listen to my.
You heard yourself too long.
I don't listen. I've been listening to myself for too long. I need to go listen.
Yeah, that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard for somebody who sing, isn't it?
Hey man, but it is what it is, man. It's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? Singing is a different. It's a different thing. It's somebody I loved. That's a comfort zone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
but usually people who are loners are usually people who
artists
are leaders. Usually they're people who are leaders, people who other people go to all the time. Yeah, so I get it. I mean, I like to be by myself too, but then at the same time, like I can identify with that. I'm a loner, but I do like to be around other people, but then at the same time, it's almost like I know I'm good if I'm by myself, because it's like I need that time of understanding me, and not trying to fit in and be like everybody else. Sometimes when you're by yourself, you have a tendency to understand yourself more and be like, I'm okay with me, and I can be around other people and I can relate to other people, but at the same time, I'm comfortable with being who I am. And you kind of resolve all that sometimes when you're by yourself, that I like me and I know I'm alone. I know I'm kind of different, yet I like to be around other people too, because you want to be around other people. That's life.
I go get my fix and I come on back.
I promise you I get it. I do.
Get my fix and I come on back. But mostly it's I like hanging around. I think family keep me like grounded and being around familiar people. Having fun with familiar people. That's what I like to do. I don't really like to go to clubs and sit around a lot of strangers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Behind the scenes type person. That's what I am.
But I appreciate y'all for giving me all the advice, because I was really approached by somebody who was going through, and I was just regurgitating the same old spiritual stuff. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you can just listen to people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to just shut up and listen.
Yeah. You don't want you to tell them
nothing.
They
don't want you to tell them to just shut up, man, and shut up and listen.
Sometimes what I do sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm learning how to shut up.
And but see, sometimes, but with men too, especially if it comes to a woman, we feel like we gotta fix them. Sometimes they don't want to be fixed. They just want you to just listen to them. You just
shut up and listen.
Just shut up.
What I'm saying.
Just be like this.
Shut up and listen.
Word, really? You right. That's what they want to hear. I'm serious. And guess what? They feel 1,000 times better. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right, so we gonna move into the next topic, man. In case y'all been living on a rock. So the next topic, can Christ be owned? Can you preach or sing about Christ?
Can you?
Yeah, and I brought this up because on the internet it's going crazy right now. Somebody I know did. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who he is. You know, he danced with the devil one time, and now he's singing about Christ. And now he's, you know what I'm saying, making gospel music. And, yeah,
okay.
and
I got it now. Okay,
and now the Christian community, I mean, and I'm like, what y'all want from a nigga? You know what I'm saying? That was my thought. I was like, okay, y'all don't want to be with the devil. Y'all don't want him to be talking about Christ. So I'm gonna play the clip of if y'all ain't heard the snippets that he had released. I'm gonna play it with y'all, and it sounds like a sincere, nice song,
you ain't depressed, are you, Robert?
Oh no, I ain't depressed at all.
My head, a lonely road seems to last the longest. Help me with my plans. Everything seems to go to nowhere. Free me from worry and want and pity. Free me from all this envy in me. I don't want these feelings. I don't want these feelings. I call on angels. I'm trying hard to face my pain, yeah. Give me hope when I feel. Give me hope when I feel less. Angels, I'm trying hard to keep my faith, yeah.
So that's what Christians are mad about.
So let me ask a question. I was
Christians?
trying to listen.
Christians are mad because he's reaching out to the Christ that you say you're supposed to go to when you're feeling low.
Let me ask you, what are they saying though?
They saying all kinds of stuff.
Because I was trying to listen into the verses and the lyrics to see like what was he saying that would be offensive. I didn't hear anything.
I don't think it's him. It's who he is. That's why I say, hold on, I got this thing on my screen that won't go away.
So that's why I say I'm curious as to what they're saying as far as like their comments, because if like if you just say there's somebody that's everybody have an issue with his lifestyle, stuff like that, and then people say, oh well, y'all need to pray for him, you know, you see people say stuff like, oh y'all need to pray, but then when he comes out with something like that, I'm confused.
That's the whole point of the topic. Who has the rights? Who owns God? Who owns Christ? Who gets to call on him? You know what I'm saying?
What do we say? We
say. And I had somebody reach out to me in my inbox and ask me, is he mocking God?
Because of the song?
Not because of who he is. No.
Was it a question, or was he trying to be sarcastic?
No, I think
this is a sensitive subject for you a little bit. So you're gonna
it's I think it's sensitive to a lot of Christians. I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think people should be, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad they reached out to me, you know, but we went back and forth. It wasn't no hate, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Is he mocking? What you mean? Is he mocking God because he made a gospel song, a Christian song? Because he made a song praising, asking God, reaching out to God.
Because the lyrics sound like the lyrics sounds like he's saying or reaching for like support from God. As far as like saying, you know, because it sounds like he said something like, help me with my pain and I'm asking for angels. So I don't see how that would be looked at as mocking God.
Yeah, just like the rest of the gospel song, where people reaching out when they're going through something, they you know, he saw the best in me, and you know, these are all songs to where you know what I'm saying. Well, the writer was obviously in a place where they felt like compelled to, you know, write that song. You know what I'm saying?
Robert, there's gonna be people gonna always have those things to say simply because of what he came out with first. He went from the video he had before, he had blood inside some sneakers, to him now saying this. Maybe it's the way he's dressed. I don't know. It could be anything, because usually when people reach out to God, what do we always say? Whatever relationship you have with God is between you
Shouldn't we,
and
so,
God.
so shouldn't we all be held in that regard to where we was
Yeah,
in a
we are.
place
Yeah, we should. Yes.
that we
Yes.
was in this place, but now
I
we
just
in,
told you
you know what I'm
yes.
saying? I was
I
in the
just told you
club,
yes.
but now I'm in the church. You know what I'm saying?
No, I just told you yes. We should
So
all be held in that regard.
so
Yes.
should the preacher say, "Get on back to the church, then
No.
get on back to the club where you came from"?
No, that's not what he should say. That's not what he should say. What I'm saying, I mean, because a church is a place, is a temple for to heal the sick, right? So what I'm saying is that
Allegedly.
what I'm saying is that that people are always going to have, when you live your life in the spotlight, you have a spotlight, you know what I'm saying? And he got notoriety because of these songs. Then he went from the devil thing all the way to this. And so people are probably not in their defense, but I'm saying that people could be a little confused by it. Like, what are you doing, man? You understand what I'm saying?
And my point is, who are people?
And the same people you could be talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Who that's my thing. Who are as a Christian, who are you to be the
Well, let me
judge
ask
of
you this. Let me ask you this,
anybody's
Robert.
actions? You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this, Robert. Just because I don't know someone doesn't mean that I can't have an opinion about something.
Not if you claim you're a Christian.
No, you can have an opinion and still be come on, Rob. You know better than that.
Not if you got that Bible and you talking about God this and God that, and then you pass a judgment on somebody else.
No, I said opinion, not judgment.
No, opinions are judgments.
No.
Yes, it is. What is an opinion?
I don't agree with you there.
What is a
I
judgment?
have an opinion that my daughter shouldn't go to USC. I think she should go to Georgia. Am I judging her if she goes to Georgia?
No, you talking about a school, a thing. A school is not a person.
No, we're talking about the word opinion.
A school
between
is
opinion
not,
and judgment. That's what we're talking about.
But when it's come down to a person, that's
okay.
It's
I say
a
my
judgment.
daughter.
You use a building. You use a building as a
no. I went to USC.
You know
I have I'm alumni USC. I want my daughter to go to USC. You should go there. That's my personal feelings on it. She doesn't want to go there. She wants to go to Georgia. That's my opinion. Am I judging her by saying that?
No, you didn't make
there you go.
The judgment wasn't her. You know what I'm saying? The judgment was the school. You made a judgment on the school.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't make a judgment on the school. I gave my opinion to her about how I felt about something. That's it.
But Christians, first of all, I think Christians think they own God. They think they own Christ. A lot of Christians think I got the right to Christ. You can't praise him. I'm the only one can praise him because I read the Bible every day. You know what I'm saying?
I've never heard a Christian say that. But what I will say is that
they won't say that. They won't say that. Their actions says that.
What I've heard and seen people do is that they will like like you said, they do. Some people do judge people. They do. Some people think that there's a way in which things should happen according to their doctrine. You understand what I'm saying? And when you feel very strongly about something like that, then you tend to just go ahead and feel that you have to go ahead and say it. And you don't care who you're offending. But it's not about sometimes though, I had to learn this, that sometimes some people don't even know that they offended someone at times. Maybe a question is just that question. Maybe that person just asked you that question simply because they really want to know. Maybe they're curious. Is he really this? Is he really that? Because maybe they just don't know or they don't believe it and they're looking for clarification.
Or maybe it ain't their business.
No, you misunderstand what I'm saying.
You
say that maybe it's not their business, right? But
yeah,
it's not like they're going on some type of talk show saying it. They asked you. That's what they asked. They didn't ask. They're not talking to everybody else. They asked his dad.
My thing is the problem with a lot of Christians today. They think because they know scripture that they're special people.
You know what? I can agree with you
You
on
know
that.
what I'm
I
saying?
do agree. I agree with you on
I
that.
think there are
I do.
special people, and
I
you
do.
don't get. You're not where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
And
it goes
then,
back to thou has
and
not sin cast the first stone. I get
exactly,
it.
and then they forget where they used to be. The worst thing about Christian, they forget where they used to be.
Well, you got to think about this too,
You know what I'm
though.
saying?
Because remember, God told
They
Sodom and
forget where they come
he
from.
told Lot and his wives, don't look back at Sodom and Gomorrah, or you see what happened to that. She didn't forget what she was, and she turned to Saul.
And another thing I
You gotta
don't
be
like.
careful of that. You gotta be
Let me
careful
tell you
with
something
that.
else I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just talking about you.
Yeah.
People who can't live in reality. They can't live in the earth. They live in the Bible. They every time they go to the Solomon Mark said this. Then I say, well, God said, don't you judge and you shall be judged.
Yeah, but
and
you're right.
my thing is, you can go back and forth with the Bible about this and that. You can prove your point in the Bible, and I can prove my point in the Bible.
Yeah.
But are you any earthly good?
Okay. The reason why
you know what I'm saying?
The reason why I was talking with the Bible, because your question premises that. You said Christians own Christ. You're saying this. So what I'm saying, I'm answering your question with those to a certain extent, I'm answering.
I say Christians think they own Christ. I say think they own Christ. I didn't say they own him. I said they own Christ.
Yeah, but no, I get it. But what I'm saying is that you're using religion. You're using religion, and when someone uses scriptures from that religion, you're saying that they shouldn't do that. That doesn't. That's a contradiction in itself.
Yeah, but those same scriptures will point back at you.
Oh, they will. That's true. You're right.
That's my hope.
I agree with you.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. Why would you use something that's still pointing back at you? It's pointing back at you.
Sometimes everything doesn't mean that it's going to apply to me. As far as it doesn't mean that it will apply to me.
And if you're supposed to be a scholar, a scholar, you know better. You know better. You know what I'm saying? But you use it as a weapon. Christians have gotten to the point where they use the Bible.
They use the Bible as a way to get
as a weapon
to slavery. I understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying.
And you're not speaking. Stop trying to speak for God. You can't speak for God.
You're right.
What I'm saying?
You're right. I don't think God needs defending.
He's God all by himself.
Yeah.
He's God all by himself.
His
and he don't need nobody help.
His relationship with God is his relationship with God, and I have no no influence in that at all. Nobody should have that.
And that was my whole point about it. Who gets to praise God?
Everybody does.
Right.
That was my whole point. Who gets to praise God? How is that mocking God? You know what I'm saying? It was Eddie Long mocking God all the while?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
he's not.
But he was.
Yeah, well, he was. So was Creflo Dollar mocking God?
Creflo Dollar?
Yeah, was he mocking God when he came out and said, "Well, y'all"?
Was he asking his congregation for planes and all that?
Yeah, he wasn't say he been telling y'all a lie all the while. I've been teaching y'all the wrong thing in the Bible.
Is that what he said?
About the funds and stuff like that.
Robert, we can't pretend like there aren't those preachers out there who use the church as a means of income. You know that they're out there.
Right.
They out there, man. Come on, man.
You know what? You know what though? With me, the closer I got to God, the less critical I got of people.
Exactly.
Because I realized
you pay attention to you and him. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have no right to I don't care how many verses I know.
I'm not gonna look at. I'm
you
not
know
gonna look at that video.
Can I say something, y'all? Let me say
I'm not gonna look at that video and say he going to hell.
Let me say something.
You know what I mean?
I think this will fix this. Don't label me, Robert. Okay.
You know I am. You better get ready for the blowback.
Oh, you better not. No, listen. Okay. So, and I knew it, but I had to look it up. So it's in 1 Corinthians 6:10. It says, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of God, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor revilers again, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. So now check this out. So when I go to 1 Corinthians 6:11, which is the next verse, it says, and such were some of you. But you were washed, you were sanctified, you were justified in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and by the Spirit of our God. So nobody can judge people in that sense. I shared that to say is that I see where you're coming from, is because it's like you were saying, Stanford, when somebody, like you living in a glass house, or you throwing a stone at somebody else's, but you live in a glass house too. Everybody has something that's not right in their life, or something that they once was in. So when people start to come off judgmental because somebody else is openly showing their life, God is saying, you know what, you used to be that way too. Some of you are that way, but basically, like the old school folks say, but by the grace of God, or but God, because that's how you were able to get to that point of being, washed and made clean and sanctified and stuff like that. So when a person gets to that point of being sanctified, they shouldn't go back and judge other people. They should come back with love, prayers, and understanding to the point to help another person come up out of whatever they are in. That's not considered right.
This is the I'm just see. You know what? And I invited some Bible people on here because I wanted to have this discussion. And a lot of people who are being the Bible all the time, they don't like to talk about the Bible publicly. They don't like to talk about it with people who challenges them. Nobody like you, Stanford. You know what I'm saying? You don't mind being challenged. And a lot of preachers and stuff, they get on there and they do their thing. They get all the amens, amen, but they don't like to be challenged. You know what I'm saying? Because I had this verse, I say, judge not that ye be judged. For with that judgment ye be judged, ye shall be judged, and with that measure ye meet,
it'll come back, basically. Yeah.
It shall be measured
back to you.
Yeah. To you again.
Yeah.
And why beholdest thou mote
in that person's eye?
Mote that is their brother's eye.
Yeah.
When you got one of your own.
But considereth not being in thy own eye.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And that speaks to the same scriptures that I said in 1 Corinthians. It's like, it's saying these things that these type people won't get into heaven. Said thieves, all that stuff. But remember, some of you were this way. So in other words, but you're not in that same category because you were washed, but he puts the but there to say, you really can't just sit up here and act like you're holier than thou because you were once in that place. So there has to be mercy given and compassion and prayers because somebody had to pray for you or somebody had to be
and a lot of people still in that place. We just don't know it.
I think
because it's not open. That's what I'm saying. Some people have lives that are before everybody because of who they are, in what they do. Some people are private. You'll never see their sin. You'll never see what they're struggling with.
And there's people probably watching that want to clap back at me. And I'm working. Trust me, y'all, I would not get in my feelings. I do not. One thing about me, I don't get in my feelings about nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but healthy conversation. That's all it is.
Everybody has a path that is going to be the same. You're born with sin nature. You've got to walk your own path to get there, to come out of it. And along the way, God commands us. The commission is to love one another, pray for one another. He reminds us, y'all used to be that way, so don't get on your high horse. Just pray, love.
Well, let me ask you something. Why do we say it used to be that way?
When I say that,
now, if I ask you, do you think there's a perfect man walking this earth?
No. I can answer your question. Let me answer it. When the word said such were some of you, meaning some people, you can take a person who has, just say they were on drugs really bad, right? to the point where they were stealing, got locked up, all kind of bad things that came with that vice that they had or that issue. Okay. So when you talk about deliverance, there are some things that are like, a thief, people going around stealing, they, get locked up all the time. Some people are delivered from major things. Some people may be delivered from something that may not seem major to somebody else, but it's still something to be delivered from. It does not mean that your life is perfect every day, because you're going to think something wrong. You're going to say something wrong, but that's the process of Christ giving us the grace to be forgiven. His mercies are brand new and tender every morning. He says, my mercies are brand new and tender every morning. So every morning you wake up, you have a clean slate. He knows that we're going to mess up. That's why we are forgiven daily. That's how good he is to us. So it's not to say when it says such were some of you that you will never do anything wrong. It just means that some of y'all were thieves, but some of y'all ain't thieves no more. So don't judge somebody else who's a thief now, because you used to be one. So it doesn't mean you have perfected your life and you doing nothing else ever wrong. You can think ugly thoughts about somebody and you just as wrong as somebody who opened their mouth and cut somebody out. So it doesn't mean that you're a perfect person. It just means that, maybe you used to be a hoe, but you ain't one no more. People get delivered from things.
You talking about like Maya Angelou? Maya Angelou was like that.
But what you mean, Steph?
Maya Angelou was she used to work in brothels.
About it. Oh yeah.
So that's an example.
Yeah, that's an example. She used to be that woman, but she was not that woman anymore. But it doesn't mean she didn't maybe do something still wrong in life. But sometimes we have deliverances that are become a part of our testimonies. And so when you sit up and say, oh, you doing this and that, well, yeah, you used to be that person too. So be careful. Don't be quick to talk about somebody else, because you've had your own thing that you had to be delivered from. That's all that's saying. It doesn't mean
that's why you say we're all as filthy rags.
Our righteousness are as filthy rags. That's exactly what it says.
But you know what I think? You know what I think when people are saying too is there's also this element. I think it's the way he might be coming at him, like not coming at him, but the way he's doing it, like it's like it's sort of it's like this, and I don't like this movie, right? You know that movie, The Color Purple.
The one that they redid that's coming out.
Yeah, you're not the only one who said that.
The old one.
I heard several people say
but you don't like the old one, or the fact that they're bringing
the old one, the first one.
Okay.
And remember the scene, right? Let me tell you something. What she do? What's her name? Shug. That's her name.
Yeah.
And her dad's a pastor and stuff, right?
Yeah.
He on the horse.
Yeah.
And she run up to him. I's married now. That's a good thing, right? I's married now. And you know what she did? Kept going. Right?
Kept going. But you know what?
Now listen.
I hate to say, I've never seen this movie in its entirety. So
okay, now that's what he did. Her father did that to her. He just he just said, kept going. Right? And it wasn't until she came to that church singing the way she was singing, she left that life completely and came to that church and did what she did. Maybe that's what it is, Robin. Maybe they don't believe him yet. You get it?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but who cares what they believe? They're not the one.
Obviously, you do if you're bringing it up.
No, I'm bringing it up because it's just a story. It's just a story. Okay. I'm not depressed, but I brought up depression. It's a story. It's something to talk about.
You know what I'm saying, because
it's a story. No, I know what you're saying, but here's the end game is who gives you think I give a rat's ass who care about my relationship?
Oh no, I don't think you really give a damn about who cares about him.
The point I'm trying to make is, how are you saying you a Christian and this is what you're talking about? You it makes you look bad.
Christians can have opinions, Robin. You got to understand that. You have an opinion right now about them. You're judging them right now.
I think what the pain
right?
is. This is
exactly what I'm doing to you.
I'm talking about how they look. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about how they look. I'm not saying they're bad.
You're not judging them, Robin.
I'm saying they're in the same boat. No, I'm not judging them. No, I'm not judging them. I'm not calling them heathens. I'm not calling them heathens. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's the
Jimmy made a good point.
But if they step wrong, I'm gonna beat them all across the head with that Bible.
You gonna hit them in the head with it, right?
I'm gonna bless them. I'm gonna tell you now what book is this in?
Oh my goodness,
man.
Oh, I think what it is, it's annoying. It's just annoying for people to have.
No, but I like to have fun with topics, man. I you know, so I got YouTube like everybody else got YouTube, and I look at videos and people talking and saying this and that. And it hit different when it's your child that they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine somebody on Instagram they talk about your child? You know what I'm saying? It'll be different. You know what I'm saying? It'll be different to you then. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. And I don't.
It's a personal thing, huh?
And I don't go back at them. I just have my own show and I talk to ask people. Hold on, my thing going on. Yeah, so I just have my own show and talk about it, man. I could just not talk about it at all, like it don't exist. You know what I'm saying? I like having discussion. I like people to be open and honest about how they feel. You know what I'm saying? With your own opinion. Don't worry about my feelings. You know
but you know what I think? I think as we get older, we should gain wisdom and sit back and say, really, when it's all said and done, I think the annoyance with this for you probably is that how can somebody talk about him when they got their own crap, whether we see it or not, right? So we when we're here, whether people know it or not, whether we share it or not, whether they see it or not, we're all trying to get it right. And so it's almost like, how dare you try to say something about when you got your own stuff just because we don't know about it? You know, who are you to judge? It's like I've learned as I've gotten older to get to my point is that when I see stuff, however outlandish it looks, however wrong I may know it to be, I still say it's a reason for why this person is doing what they're doing. God truly knows the situation. He knows the beginning. I don't know it, but we don't know the ending either. Some people gonna start out, you know, you thinking they gonna just go to heaven. We don't know that they may not. Some people start out in a way where you like, oh, they're gonna bust hell wide open, and they may be the first one to enter into the heaven before somebody else. We don't know, but the point is, along the way, we shouldn't sit back and talk about people and in judgment. We can say we don't agree with some things, but that doesn't mean we can judge them and say, you know, they can't do this, they can't do that, because everybody needs to have salvation from this crazy world that we're born into. Everybody needs it. So I think the awareness is that
I want to ask you a question.
Let me say this. It's a reason why TD Jake has millions of followers and Geno Jennings has a few hundred. Because TD Jake's focus is always on Christ. Every time all his sermons are focused on Christ. And Geno Jennings is focused on people relationships with Christ. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? If you are a Christian, you got to keep people focused on Christ. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get back to that, okay? Because I don't mess with TD Jakes, and I like Geno Jennings. I don't like TD Jakes too much though, but I'm gonna tell you why in a minute, okay? But anyway, the question I wanted to ask is this: is that can a parent judge their child?
That's a good question.
You're talking about, here you go again with an outlandish analogy.
It's not outlandish.
You're talking about a child-parent relationship, not a
No. When you say don't judge anyone,
not a Christ, not a Christ,
everyone,
not a God, his people relationship. You know what I'm saying? God is all.
Am I child? Are we God's people? Yes or no?
You got a lot of parents and children relationship, but you only got one God. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. The question still stands. Can I judge my child?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, all right then. All right.
Okay,
Then.
well,
Now let's get to the. Let's get to
no. Give me the point of that. Give me the point of that.
No, I just want to get this judgment thing straight. I want to know is there a limit to it?
Okay, it's a limit to it. When it's God and when it's God, you got one God, man. But
okay, now let me tell you about this. This is what I like about the TD. Is it TD? Is that his name? TD Jake's the heavyset one, right?
Yeah.
This is what I didn't like. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, I like Geno Jennings. I do like Geno Jennings. I think he's straight. He doesn't preach with he doesn't teach with compassion, and people are mad about his delivery instead of listening.
Yeah, he's
to the
hard.
message.
He's real hard.
Yeah, he's harsh, and what it is that he does stay to the Bible because they read the scripture straight from right from the Bible. And he explains it. That's what he does. If you watch this sermon,
but once you start the judgmental stuff, he's out. He's out of the Bible.
TD Jakes,
he's not in the Bible.
TD Jakes had, and I don't know if I told y'all about this, but TD Jakes had Tyler Perry on there laying hands on him, told him he was. Did you see it, Jenny?
What he said?
I saw it.
Come on,
happened?
Come on.
Tell me what happened, man.
Y'all been talking about this. Pull it up. I am not saying nothing.
I saw a video of Tyler Perry prayed for him. Know what you saying?
No. Now, what do you think about that, Jenny? Is that God-like?
No comment.
Calm down, Stanford. No, explain to me what happened.
You can look at it. I ain't saying nothing.
No, just tell me.
They needed money. Let me tell you what it is. They needed money.
It was almost comical. And so I wouldn't get in trouble with God. I was like, I'm gonna leave that alone.
What happened?
I'm gonna tell you what. This is what I saw.
I ain't saying nothing.
What you saw?
He was. Let me tell you what he said.
I have nothing to say.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you like this. They needed money to build some type of center or something. I don't know what it is they needed money for. Tyler Perry gets on stage and he's on the microphone. He said, "Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and give this amount, but God told me to give y'all $1 million for this building, where it was." Right? Then he started so-called speaking in tongues. And then TJ's walked up to him. They was clapping, and TJ walked up to him. He said, and he put his hands on TJ's forehead. TJ's doing this. Right or wrong? I'm like, get the fuck.
But let me say this.
I'm not gonna say that.
Let me say this.
I don't want to get in trouble.
I don't either.
Are you? What, do you serve God, man? I don't say it.
Do I serve him?
Yeah.
Not as I should. I can't say that I do.
But my point is, who to say that they went authentic?
Dude.
Regardless of how it looked.
Dude, come on, man.
And you know what? And you know what? And I used to do. And I used to do that. I used to laugh at these people in these church when you see them on TV. The lady making the boy leg roll and all that in front of everybody. I used to laugh at it, but I stopped laughing at stuff like that because.
No.
Because it's not. No, I stopped laughing because
like that.
It's not my place to do that. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. You have to see it for yourself and read.
You have to see it. I guarantee you
have to read.
It'll change. You're gonna change your mind. You see this? I tell you. Like that. What's the other one? What's that?
Some stuff you can just discern. It's not about laughing at everything. That's why I say I have no comment. Yeah. But some stuff you can just sense. You be like, come on now, like
like that dude, that Indian looking dude, where he took his coat, his jacket, and he was swinging it. I forgot his name, and he knocking people back in the stand. I'm like, come on, dude.
Are you talking about Benny Hinn?
Yeah, Benny Hinn. That's his name.
See, I did. When I see stuff, I did turn, man. And I don't even laugh.
Now, Geno Jennings, man. You know, Geno Jennings be all over the place, man. He be overseas. He be all over the place, and he is harsh.
He really is.
He's harsh.
I remember hearing a couple of sermons. I was like, ah.
But let me ask you this.
I still listen to him though, a little bit.
Let me ask you this though. He's harsh and everything, but what's he lying about? Tell me.
It's not about is he lying or not.
Okay.
It's not about is he lying or not. You can get the Bible and you can read out. Anybody can read the Bible. Anybody who can read out the Bible. But
the
are you
dude
living?
Does not have a degree in anything. He's just anointed with preaching. That's it.
But is he
Like,
is he exemplifying the Bible? What's how God wants you to behave?
Well, he doesn't preach. He doesn't show compassion.
Not at all.
He says it. He tells you that he's not for everybody.
God don't want us. So God don't want us to show compassion.
No.
So he failed. So he's failing.
I don't agree with this style. I don't.
So he's a failure.
Some people need certain things, Rob.
He's not doing. So he's using.
I give you an example. I give you an example right now. John the Baptist was inside the forest yelling at everybody.
You went there.
Oh, I'm just letting you know.
You went there.
Was he for everybody?
You went there. What he said.
What he said. I don't know everything he said, but that's what he was doing.
Don't do that.
They called him a wild man. They called him a wild man and all this other stuff. He was running around yelling, saying, repent. He was yelling and he was doing all this stuff.
What's wrong with that? That's not, he's saying repent.
No, he's doing more than, he's saying a lot of stuff.
Jesus was a radical. Jesus was a radical man.
Geno Jennings is a type of preacher that if you got a soft heart, don't go. If you can't take the whole hardcore raw of truth, don't do it. If you want to be coddled,
Geno Jennings is
some other people.
Geno Jennings is what his name? Death Row Man.
Suge Knight, get out of here.
He was a sure knight in the pulpit.
Crazy.
He's a sure knight in the pulpit, man. That's how he is, man.
Interviews on the reason why I like him too, because they've tried to trip him up on certain interviews, like in Philly and everything. Yeah, and they couldn't. They tried, but they could. Like one girl said,
"Trip him up on what?" I mean,
on the way he preaches, the way he says about how when he says whore and all this other stuff. they be trying to say, so you calling me because I have on spandex and this a shirt with like this and stuff, that I'm a whore. I mean that I want to be raped. He said, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Nobody deserves to be raped. And he's right. He said, I'm not saying that you deserve to be raped. I said, but if you are walking around with your body out like that, a man is going to look at you and see you a certain way. And those are facts. Y'all know this. So what's so hard about that? He just says it really raw. That's it. And he's loud with it. And
he comes off like arrogant. Like,
I get it, though.
He be having his hand on his hip, and I be like, dang.
I got pastors in my family, right? Check it out. I got pastors in my family. They think he harsh. They be like, yo, he said what he says is right. They tell me, they say what he's saying is right. He doesn't really show a lot of compassion. Mm-mm. That's their problem with him. But they still saying that he's right. They saying, oh, what he's saying, that's true. It's true.
No, they're saying he's right because he's reading not the Bible. And the Bible is right. He's not right. Reading the Bible is right.
Somebody, that's what I'm saying. It's the way what he's preaching about. And he gives worldly examples of it.
They're not saying he's right. They're saying what he's reading is right. And I think a lot of people you misunderstanding that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's every pastor. Okay, every pastor is right. We know that just about. They reading from what the Bible says.
But every pastor ain't picking out certain people to challenge them. You know what I'm saying?
But those are the people that are broke, aren't they?
You know?
I just said that he's not meant for everybody. I can listen to him. I can bypass all that.
He's sure not in the pulpit.
I listen to the message.
He's a pulpit sure night, man.
At least you didn't say dinner. At least you didn't say dinner.
I like when he said that part. Am I right?
He's something else, man. You can't be soft going to him. I'm telling you now. You can't be soft, man.
I be saying myself, buddy, it's anybody getting the pulpit these days, man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he not bad, man. He tough, but he ain't bad.
He's been preaching for a long time, right?
Since he was a kid.
Yeah.
And he lived how he preached. He got I think 7 kids, married to one woman the entire time. He got all his kids from his wife. Come on. They even asked him about his daughter. If your daughter wanted to go to a Beyonce concert, would you give her the money for this? You know what he told him? No. He just said no. He living how you gotta respect the man with convictions when it comes to that. And it's not like he's not living according to what he believes in what he's doing. He believes in it. Like he would say something about
but your convictions are for you.
No,
you
respect someone.
Your conviction are for your self-checking.
You're right. But
you know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is that you respect someone with convictions.
Yeah, your convictions are for you. That's for you. I can't feel yours.
Yeah, but if you're a pastor, too, Robert, your conviction also goes and affects your congregation. So it's no longer just about it's no longer just for you. That's also for your congregation too, because that's your flock. They follow you the shepherd, right?
Well, he has an audience that's just for him. There are some people that the way he preaches, there is an audience that is for him. You know?
he found a niche. He found a niche.
There are people who need him.
It. So you think he's a fraud? Yes or no? Do y'all think he's a fraud?
No, I don't think he's a fraud. I just think he's harsh.
I don't think. I don't know what to
harsh.
I don't think he's being. I don't think he's doing it the right. To me, that's my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Really
I think if you turn more people off than you turn on, then you're not. Something ain't right.
Well, you can't save everybody, can you?
Something ain't right.
True.
You can't save everybody. You can't save everybody, man.
Let me say this: it's his delivery. That's just my thought. It's his delivery, and there's a scripture that says that faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these three is love. And we know what the Bible says about love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love. It's just certain things about it.
Let me know when one of them check his box.
And that so it's one particular love. Love is not.
Steph. I'm gonna get off your boy, man. I'm letting him go.
But love is not irritable. It's not. Love is not rude. It's a lot of things that it says love is not.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jesus had 12 disciples.
And that
everybody didn't follow him, did they? And
well,
he had love for them, didn't he?
What I'm saying is that you can reach more people with how you deliver the message. That's all.
You mean like you catch more bees with honey than you can with flour?
Yeah, and there are and to your point, there are people who can sit up under his ministry and they need that kind of preaching. They need it.
Some people do.
Or teaching, I guess, because he actually reads the scripture, so he does teach.
He reads. He literally does that.
Yeah, I know. He teaches.
I think most of the people in his congregation love drama.
I don't see.
They like to keep up shit. They like to keep shit up.
I think a motherfucker telling you that he wants you to buy them a plane loves drama. That's what I think.
They love good luxury things. You know what I'm saying? They love luxury. But anyway, y'all, look. I said we're gonna be the last show of the year. I don't know. I might do one more show before the year over with, because this a busy month for me. I got shows and you know what I'm saying.
You do
gatherings. It just I got a lot of focus on. You know what I'm saying. And it'll be one thing I can. My
children and stuff to Mexico.
When?
On the 21st.
On the 21st?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They have, but they want
Mexico.
I take a trip.
Feliz Navidad.
I take a trip every year.
Oh, they go Feliz Navidad.
That's what they want. They said they never been there, so. I said, be careful. If a cartel member come in, you better be careful. I'm teaching them some things, but.
Yeah, so this might be the last show. I might do one more show, but
do one more, man. Do one.
Yeah,
more.
I might do one more show in about 2 more weeks. The finale. You know what I'm saying? What 2 more weeks? 2 more weeks would be what? Let me see.
Maybe we talk about New Year's resolutions and stuff. The new year coming. What you gonna do?
Man, it's people so woke now, man. You can't even do show like that.
You ain't lying. Somebody might get offended.
You know what I'm saying? You can't even talk about Christmas and New Year's. Folk don't got so woke and conscious and they still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna ask you this though.
The closer they get to God, the worse they get.
Hey, what do you think about your boys, man? Your boys messed up this past weekend, man.
Who, the Bulldog?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was
My man right now, he
uh,
ain't talking to me right now, man. He an avid Georgia fan, man. He ain't answering my calls, no text, nothing. He upset with me, man.
yeah.
I'm mad at them because I put money on the game and lost it.
Wow.
And like that, Bama came back and beat them boys. I ain't like that. How do you
Well,
think, FSU was done right?
Georgia defense wasn't as strong as it used to be. That hurt them.
Yeah, it
And
wasn't.
Florida State, I think the committee got it. I want to say they got it right.
Popularity contest, man. You know what it is. It's money.
But because if you be honest, man, you know Florida State, that ain't the same team without their quarterback.
Yeah,
right?
we know that. But they did they did earn it though.
They earned it, but they not the best team at this point. Okay, they're not one of the best four teams.
Let me ask you this.
So I get what you're saying. They earned it, but they at this point they're not one of the best four teams, and I think you know that.
Yeah,
the way that quarterback looked
with the quarterback, with Travis, they are.
Yeah, with Travis, yeah, but with the guy they had Saturday, the guy had 55-yard passing.
And they don't want another TCU game. But let me ask you this: if that was Notre Dame that was undefeated, you think they would have got it? Did they got in? Say it was Notre Dame instead of Florida State.
I can't say, man. Maybe. Okay. But without their number one not without their number one quarterback.
Well, the second string quarterback was coming back. He would have played in the bowl game because he was in a concussion protocol. I think that lasted about a week or so. And he was coming back. And second string quarterbacks had played in bowl games.
Well, it's next year you ain't got to worry about all that next year. So they're going to 12 teams. So
I know Texas and Oklahoma coming, y'all, ain't it?
I think we still had an argument. We how you been number one all year and you lose one game, you
Alabama, out. Right? But they're not gonna let both in.
And the team with exactly. So so they went with the team who won. So that why I ain't really make a big fuss out of it. We had our shot. We won the last two, so can't be mad about it. You know what I'm saying? You can't win.
I don't know what it is about Bama, man. Them jokers, they just came back like Then Washington is pretty good. They the truth.
I'm not sold on Washington.
I think them boys too small in the trenches though.
I'm not sold on Washington.
Yeah, I think they're too small in the trenches though. You know?
But we'll see, man. We'll see, man.
We'll have to see.
Well, if I don't come back with another show, man, I wish you a Merry Christmas, man. Feliz Navidad. If we do another show, it'll be on next week. Next week will be the 12th, and the 19th, and the 26th will be after Christmas. Maybe the 26th. Maybe the day after Christmas. But ain't nobody got time for no show after Christmas.
No, you wait a little bit. I want to be
So I might come back in 2 weeks to do the finale show then.
Yeah, do that, man.
Yeah. Come back in 2 weeks. Yeah, so that's the plan then. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, appreciate you, man. You and Jenny.
Appreciate
you. Jenny and the Jets.
Oh shit, that is a song, ain't it?
It's Benny and the Jets, not Jenny.
Oh, Benny. It's Benny.
Pulling it from that.
That's the 80s. I forgot that. Yeah, that's the 80s.
Yeah.
We're showing our age, bro. I better stop that.
That's what his name? What's the name? The guy who's
Benny and the Jets.
You know that is. That's
I can't remember his name.
He's a very popular guy, man, who sung "Candle in the Wind," like a candle in the wind. What's his name? Elton John, man. Elton John.
Elton John.
Yeah, Elton John. Yeah. But anyway, man,
he was the No, that's he's not the Elton John. Is he the piano dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do the part comments, man. Let's roll.
Alrighty, I'll go.
You'll go.
I'll go first.
Bye.
Oh, stop. All right, y'all. So with holiday seasons or no holiday season, check on your people, check on your family, check on your friends. Take a notice of people around you, and God put it in your heart. Reach out. You never know. You might be a part of saving somebody from going into a low place, lower than where they already are. And when it comes down to just in judgment of other people, just love people, pray for them. Everybody needs it. we're all in need, whether we short or not, whether people know it or not. Just show love and pray, because everybody is walking around on this earth trying to figure it out and trying to get through whatever it is that causes us to sin or do whatever that we do that's not right. We have to just walk in that um, way. Just love. You never can lose with loving people. So on that note, you all have a beautiful night.
All right, Jenny.
All right. Bye.
Stafford, my man.
Hey,
Did you just come back from Mexico?
say again?
Did you just come back from Mexico
Did
not
I
too
just
long
come
ago?
back from there?
Yeah.
Yeah, not too long ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you go. Oh, they want to go. You don't.
They
You don't
wanna
told
go
them how good it was. And then they want to
Yeah,
go.
now they want to
All
go.
right, bro.
I ain't tell them everything though. Go ahead.
They
Oh,
can't.
okay.
They don't take them everywhere you went.
No, don't do that. I ain't gonna do that. Anyway, hey, it's okay to need help. It's okay to need help and search out to get that help. Just make sure that you getting the right type of help before it becomes too late, or you do something that's drastic and something you can't come from, because you can have everything, and then one action can create and destroy everything that you do. Happy holidays if we don't have another one. If not, if we do, then I'll say it again. All right, peace.
All right, brother.
Later, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Later.
All right, y'all. This is what we got to say goodbye. Look, y'all, appreciate y'all tuning in, texting, commenting. I learned a lot today, man, about the depression, man. Look, man, I didn't realize I need a haircut this bad. Man, when you ain't got nowhere to go, you don't need to be thinking about no haircuts. But anyway, y'all, look, reach out to you folks, man, this season, man. Y'all know this is a season where a lot of people, a lot of memories start coming through people's head of those who didn't make it this far, going on to be with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Just reach out to people, man, and just check on them. You ain't got to have a long, drawn out conversation with people. Just call them, see how they doing. If you're having something, invite them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Around this time of season, and just show some love, man. Just be a loving person, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything you do it in love, man. Do it in love. If you want to reach people, you got to do it in love, man. That's how you reach people. Until then, um, 2 weeks. I'm gonna come back. I might come back in 2 weeks, do a finale show. Maybe I got a lot going. Like I said, I got a lot going on this month. In 2 weeks. I think in Saturday after next Saturday, I'm hosting a recital. Then the last weekend in December, we got a show going on at the Pink Lion. Y'all check my page, man. Go get your ticket, man. Come check your boy out, man. You ain't never check your boy out. I'm gonna release some new songs that I got. You know what I'm saying? Never heard before, and them suckers bad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So listen, till next week, peace.